Hello, John.
Hello, Oliver.
Today we're going to talk about the Virgin statue in Montana. It's also known as Our Lady of the Rockies.
That's right. There's a statue of Our Lady in a place called Butte in Montana. And motors rounding a bend on Interstate 90, about 5-6 miles from the historic city of Butte in Montana, meet a remarkable sight. A giant statue of Our Lady, perched 3,500 feet above the valley floor. The 90-foot tall, brindley white homage to the Virgin Mary, known as Our Lady of the Rockies, was built in thanksgiving for a miracle. A miracle. It is particularly stunning when lit up at night, which is lit up at night.
Mm-hmm.
Butte is considered one of the most Irish cities in the US. Doesn't that kind of surprise? That doesn't surprise you, because the Irish built St. Patrick's Cathedral in New York, world famous. In 1979, Bob O'Bill's wife was dying from cancer, and I know what that can be like, terrible. O'Bill, an electrician who had worked in a local mine, prayed for her healing and promised to build a 5-foot statue of Our Lady in his garden if God heard his prayer. When his wife made a full recovery, he and his friends set out to fulfill the promise, but soon began to think on a much bigger scale. At the time, Butte was once the world's top copper producer, was going through its worst economic recession ever. Mining companies had left the town, jobs were scarce and morale was at an all-time low. But the project caught the local people's imagination and help and materials flooded in. Virtually everything needed was donated. The plot of land on top of the East Ridge, the heavy machinery needed to cut a road up the mountain, the cement base for the statue and labour. Work began on the 9th of November 79. Volunteers spent evenings blasting a road to the top of the Rockies, sometimes advancing only 10 feet a day.
Wow.
As more men lost their jobs due to the recession, whatever their fate, they willingly gave their time to pushing the project forward. Meanwhile, the volunteers' families held benefit dinners and cake sales to make up for any shortfall in cash. They were all in it together. And so nearly 6 years later, in September 1985, 400 tons of concrete, provided by a local company, were poured in to form the base. 400 tons of concrete. On 17th of December, an army helicopter lifted the statue in 4 sections into place. There had been concern about strong winds on the mountain, but that day the air was calm. Everything we asked of Mary up there we got, said Jim Keane. Mm-hmm. Kerry name, one of the builders. Made of steel, the statue was dedicated to workers and women everywhere, especially to mothers. Isn't that a marvellous thing?
Let's have a look at it there. Just
a huge statue,
well,
and visible for miles around, and that is the sort of example of faith and in thanksgiving for the miracle. This electrician and the people all joined in, so it shows you that they were kind of imbued with the Holy Spirit, that they stuck to that. And I hope to have luck in that town, and there's plenty of employment in it there now, and perhaps there's tourists coming to it now to view this statue.
Thank you very much, John.
Thank you very much, Oliver.